Welcome to Wisdom-Trek with Gramps. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, and we are on day 2546 of our trek. The purpose of Wisdom-Trek is to create a legacy of wisdom, to seek out discernment and insights, and to boldly grow where few have chosen to grow before. Today is the 39th lesson in our segment of Theology Thursday. Utilizing excerpts from the book titled, I Dare You Not to Bore Me with the Bible, written by Hebrew scholar and professor, the late Dr. Michael S Heiser, we will invest a couple years going through the entire Bible, exploring short biblical lessons that you may have not received in Bible classes or church. The Bible is a wonderful book. Its pages reveal an epic story of God's redemption of humankind and the long bitter conflict against evil. Yet it is also a book that may seem strange to us at times. While God's Word was written for us, it wasn't written to us. Today's lesson is Born Again and Again and Again. Was Jesus open to the idea of reincarnation? The question may seem odd, but it's one that many people, even biblical scholars, contend has a positive answer. The idea comes from a passage that you've read dozens of times. And this is from John chapter 9, verses 1 through 4. As he went along, he saw a man blind from birth. And his disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, Neither the man nor his parents sinned, but in order that the works of God might be made manifest in him, he was born blind. We must work the work of him who sent me while it is day. Night is coming when no one can work. Notice the disciples' question, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Many presume the question dictates born blind really could have sinned before he was born, and that his pre-birth sins caused congenital blindness. The presupposition is followed by another, that Jesus' answer wasn't categorically denied. Since Jesus doesn't come out and say, what a silly idea, don't be ridiculous, some have argued that his response means, in this case, the man born blind didn't sin in a previous life, but perhaps that could have happened in another case. Could this interpretation be correct? Reincarnation is the belief that the soul migrates from one body to another, different body, in a long, possible endless succession. The idea of the migration of the soul cannot be found in the Bible or in any Jewish writings of antiquity, which indicates that the disciples were likely presuming something different. People can do good and evil while still in the womb. Paul addresses this misconception in Romans chapter 9, verses 9 through 13, when dealing with the case of Jacob and Esau. Even if a pre-born person could sin in the womb, this does not involve the migration of a soul. For this is what the promise said in Romans chapter 9, verses 9 through 13. About this time next year I will return, and Sarah will have a son. And not only so, but also Rebekah had conceived children by one man, our forefather Isaac, though they were not yet born and had done nothing either good or bad, in order that God's purpose of election might continue, not because of works, but because of him who calls, she was told, the older will serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob I loved, Esau I hated. Now in Matthew chapter 16, verse 13, where some people suggest that Jesus was John the Baptist, Elijah, or one of the Old Testament prophets, it's also of no help for those who want to see reincarnation in John chapter 9, verses 3 and 4. Jesus and John were contemporaries, born 6 months apart, according to Luke chapter 1, verses 8 through 36. Thus John's soul could not have migrated to Jesus' body. Elijah never died in 2 Kings chapter 2, verses 1 through 17, and so the migration of his soul is also not possible. If Jesus were one of the prophets who had come back to life, then the prophet would have been resurrected, not the prophet's soul in another body. There are other, more technical flaws in the interpretation of John chapter 9, but from this examination alone, it should be apparent that the idea of Jesus approving of one being born again into another physical body is dead again. The lessons that make up Theology Thursday on our Wisdom-Trek podcast for the next couple of years will satisfy the statement, I dare you not to bore me with the Bible. And I trust that you'll enjoy them, and of course, not be bored. And if you found this podcast insightful, please subscribe and leave us a review. Then encourage your friends and family to join us and come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom-Trek, creating a legacy. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, and most importantly, I am your friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom-Trek podcast and journal. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you next time for more daily wisdom.